Well, Cyprus is the fourth economy in the Eurozone that has received a formal bailout after Ireland and Portugal and Greece. And it is tiny, even smaller than the other three economies. And the problem with Cyprus is that it has an oversized financial system. The assets in the banking system are 6 or 7 or 8 times the size of the economy. And there's a lot of foreign money there, and including Russian money, but also British money. And the Europeans, especially the Germans, have been pushing for a solution that is very different from the one implemented in the other three countries, in the sense that they wanted savers, so people with money in Cyprus, to pay for, part of the bailout, about half of it. And this is why they've imposed a tax on depositors, a tax on wealth, essentially. But of course, the controversy has been around the fact that they didn't exclude the small depositors. They could have gone after just the big depositors, those with, several $1 million in Cyprus. But what they've done is essentially, go after the small depositors. So this is a very different kind of bailout. It is, as the media have reported, there's a before and an after with this kind of a bailout, because not even small depositors now are safe. Yeah, the bailout of Cyprus is qualitatively different. And if you remember, the bailout of certain banks in the United States was implemented under the premise that depositors would be guaranteed. And in fact, the FDIC here in the United States extended, made its guarantees of depositors even bigger. And so did the Europeans, because they made mutual guarantees at the beginning of the financial crisis 5 years ago that depositors' money wouldn't be touched. So this is it creates a very different dynamic. It reminds one of Argentina in 2002, where depositors actually lost quite a bit of the money. So in Cyprus right now, what they've done is they're saying that they're going to take away 6-7% from small deposits and up to 10% or 11% from larger deposits. But not only that, they've also decreed a bank holiday. So right now what we have is that people cannot access their money. Of course, why are they doing that? Well, the reason is very simple, which is that otherwise there would be a run on the banks. So they're trying to create some stability now this week and try to sell the idea that it makes sense to implement a haircut on depositors. But remember, again, this was imposed by Europe because they didn't want to give Cyprus the entire amount of money that they needed for the bailout of the country. Well, the danger intrinsic to this kind of a bailout in Cyprus raises the question of whether there could be contagion into other economies in the Eurozone, also with banks that are in trouble. And, the problem may spread first to places like Italy and Spain, which so far have avoided a formal bailout. The issue here is, of course, whether people with money and Italian or Spanish banks start thinking that something like what happened or what is going on in Cyprus right now could happen in Spain and Italy. And of course, there's nothing rational about bank runs, but if a bank run starts, then it is rational for you to go to the bank and try to, get out your money. So this is the real danger, is that people will extrapolate from what's going on in Cyprus now and see the writing on the wall and just think, well, my money is also at risk. Let me take it out. And of course, banks on average keep, 4 or 5% of their deposits in cash, right? Because they have the rest of the money, they have it invested. So it's very easy actually to bring down an entire banking system if depositors start to believe that their money is not safe. So this is what is going on in Cyprus is actually pretty serious. Well, what we've seen is that when the deal was announced over the weekend, yes, on Monday, the equity markets responded badly, not just in Europe, but around the world. Now, that's equity markets. That's not, driven by depositors. Depositors include pretty much everybody in these economies. Everybody has a bank account. Everybody has at least a small balance in the bank. I think as a result of this bailout, which again is very different from the one implemented in Greece or Portugal or Ireland, I think the risk of other banking systems in Europe suffering from some kind of pressure from depositors has increased considerably. Now, that doesn't mean that people are going to run to the bank in Spain or in Italy or even in Portugal or in Greece, right? That doesn't mean that, but it does mean that the risk has gone up significantly. And it means that, I think it's a warning signal for policymakers that something like this, the bailout of Cyprus, perhaps is not the way to go. Because look at all the uproar that it has created. I think it is unnecessary to punish small savers, small depositors.